Terraria, one of the most popular sandbox games ever, has a surprisingly interesting story and deep lore, and with deep narratives comes unanswered questions. One of these questions comes within an item that serves no practical use in game, a vanity item called the Solar Cultist robe. This robe represents a color shifted lunar cultist robe, and despite being the counterpart to the lunar cultists, we never actually see any solar cultists in game, leaving one question: where are they? I believe I know the answer. I know where they are, and what they want. And if I'm correct, you as a player might be to blame for their absence. To start off, despite the lack of solar cultists, there is no lack for sun themes. And in all the appearances of sun themes, there's an underlying understanding that in the Terraria universe, the moon is more powerful than the sun, mostly from the fact that the final boss is a moon entity. But the way that the moon is represented in the game reinforces this notion. In order to spawn the Moon Lord, the player has to interrupt a ritual being performed by the lunar cult. After slaying the cult's leader, 4 astral pillars appear. The Moon Lord can only be spawned when all 4 of these pillars are conquered. It's most surprising that one of these pillars is a solar pillar. In fact, the sun doesn't only play second fiddle, but is actually a far distant second. But the question still stands: why is the sun weaker than the moon? And I think I know the answer. The reason that the solar cult is weaker than the lunar cult is because they're cursed. Picture this: the Moon Lord, in an attempt to conquer the universe, had to remove its only competition, the Sun Lord. I know what you're thinking: what kind of calamity mod crap is this? But hear me out. The second to last boss in the game is called Golem. Golem is a sun idol based on Mesoamerican and Aztec gods. Emphasis on the idol. Golem was made by a race of lizard people called the Lizards. I know, creative name, right? But they made Golem as an idol to a god. Looking at the design of Golem, it's clear why the boss is representative of the sun. The crown Golem seems to be wearing resembles the sun, even down to the rays coming off of it, and the loot that it drops strengthens this argument. Golem drops an item called the Sunstone. Golem was definitely made to represent a sun deity. But that still doesn't answer our question: where are the sun cultists? The answer is right under our noses. The cultists are none other than the Lizards. Think about it. In order to weaken the Moon Lord's rival, the lunar cultists curse the sun cultists and turn them into Lizards. However, their plan didn't work due to the fact that the sun cultists could still build Golem as an idol to the Sun Lord. Normally this would be a stretch, but in order for the lunar cultists to be able to summon the Moon Lord, the player has to kill the Lizards and destroy Golem. That's why the cultists only appear at the temple after you kill Golem. You're weakening the Sun Cult's power. You're enabling the Moon Lord to take over. Once both cults are gone and the Moon Lord is destroyed, what will happen to the Terraria world? I think I know that too, but that's a story for another day. If you made it this far, I'd like to personally thank you for all the support. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and share this video with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you for watching.